So welcome to today's session. Yesterday we saw how we could execute a test in the native app environment. Were you both able to run the script of the calculator app? Okay. So just in case if you guys are getting stuck, let me know. Did not work yet. Okay. So do you want me to see your screens one by one, try to debug it, and then take on the session? We can do that. So I can make you guys presenter one by one. You can share your screen and we can work on it together. Would you like to do that? You're still going through the video. So let me know if you want me to help you guys or if you want to do it on your own. Either ways is fine with me. We can do both. Okay, Naman. Fair enough. Okay. So shall I give you guys a week's time? Because today we will not learn about mobile app and all that stuff and APM. We're going to talk about a unit test framework which is TestNG, which we are going to use to structure our test. So I'm not going to teach any new APM concepts today. Okay. So let's begin with that. So TestNG is basically a very widely used unit test framework which is used for the applications where we are testing using Java as a programming language. So you have another unit test framework which people use like JUnit. You have NUnit for C#, etc. But TestNG is a framework which has basically derived its feature set from both JUnit and NUnit. And it has derived its feature set from both JUnit and NUnit, and it is a framework created for testers to help testers facilitate testers to structure their test. And it has got a lot of cool features which frameworks like JUnit etc. miss, which as testers we require. For example, it allows you to group the test, it allows you to run the test in parallel, and it also produces some great reports. So TestNG as a framework or any information about TestNG is basically available on this website, testng.org. Okay. Like for APM, we had the APM website. Similarly for TestNG, all the information is available here on this platform. So testng.org is the website you have to go to where all the information about this framework is available. Now, when we structure our test, let's say we are trying to write down a manual test case. We can write a manual test case in this format. So we have a precondition, then we have the actual test, and then we have a post condition or a cleanup. So we have a precondition where we write down the steps to prepare the system for test. Then we have the actual test where we perform the steps to test. Then we have a post condition which is the cleanup. Sound familiar? So these are basically written in TestNG using some annotation. So before, test, and after. In the before you have some preconditions. In the test you have got the steps to actually perform the test steps, and then after you have this cleanup. Okay. Now in TestNG, when we use the TestNG framework, it follows a hierarchy. Okay, so the hierarchy available at the TestNG framework level is suit. Suit has some test. Test has some classes, or test have some groups. Groups have some classes. Classes have methods. This is the hierarchy which the TestNG test follow. You have a suit. Suit has test. Test has group. Group has a class. Class has a method. Okay. I'll show you. Right. So you can basically have a before and an after at each level. So there could be a before and an after available at each level. So you have before suit, after suit, before test, after test, before group, after group, before class, after class, before method, after method. So you have a before and an after for each of these hierarchical component. Clear? So if you want to do some setting at the suit level, so before executing any suit, so there is only one suit. Suit can contain many tests. A test can contain one or many groups. A group can contain one or many classes. A class can contain one or many methods. So this is the hierarchy which is available. So you can perform something before the suit gets executed, and then you can perform something after the entire thing is over and the last step of suit is getting over. You can have an after notation. Similarly, once the suit starts getting executed, before any test execution, you can have certain steps to be performed. Then groups will execute, class will execute methods, and then the test after will get executed, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this information is available in here. So you have a before suit and after suit, before test, after test, before group, after group, before class, after class, before method, after method. Have you guys ever used Maven or Ant? Never used Maven or Ant? Okay. These are basically known as build management tool. You guys understand the development process, right? That when a software is developed, it may have certain dependencies. And the software itself undergoes a lot of iterations, which you call as version numbers using which they are released. So before this Jenkins or CI/CD came into picture, people used to have these standalone builds. And build management and creation of a project itself was a tedious task. So to automate it, you had something called as meta files, meta information. This information was basically represented using tools like Ant, Maven, etc., where it helps with the build management aspect of the software. So it provides you with an XML-like XML interface where you can plug in all the dependencies, you can provide all the paths, etc., and then you can bundle it up and uh, put it together as a product to be released for testing. Do I make sense? Do you guys understand? So on the similar note, each TestNG test which we are going to create is basically going to be associated with the TestNG XML file, which is called the suit file. So each TestNG class or a test can be executed by executing something called as a testng XML file. And the testng XML file effectively has a structure which is represented in here. So you have got a suit. A suit can have a test. A test can have a class information which tells us what to get executed. Similarly, this suit can have another test. It can have class information where there could be more than one class to be executed. Okay. So this is an example of a testng XML file. When we are executing a testng test, what we are putting into execution is a testng XML file, which basically is a suite file which can have one or more than one test. The test can have one or more than one class, more than one classes. This way we can also introduce groups in here or methods. So what we are going to do is we are going to see a testng test we are going to create, and we are going to write down some very simple steps and try to create this structure. Okay, so I'll show you guys this. So this is an example where we have just put the test annotations so as to show you guys the order of execution. So you have before suit, before test, before class, before method. Similarly, you have the actual tests. Then you have got an after method, after class, after test, and after suit. So how do you create a testng test? Let's do that. So inside the project which you have created, create a folder saying testng exercises. So let me do that. So here I am creating a folder. So testng exercises. Inside the testng exercises, we are creating a new testng class. So for that, we first have to add the testng library into our Eclipse environment. So for me, it is already added, but for you guys, let me tell you from where you will add it. You have to go to help. Here, click on install new software and type in this URL. Go to help, click on install new software and type in this URL. So please try out this and allow the installation of TestNG on your system. Once you do that, it will show you this TestNG plugin. For my system, since everything is installed, I don't see anything. But for you guys, it will show you a version number. Allow it to be installed on your system. Do you guys see a version number? Does it matter the repository you added to? No. You have to basically add it to your Eclipse environment. So start your installation, and when you guys are done, let me know. Done? Great. Installed? Cool. So let's do these steps together. So right click on the folder and create this new folder inside the SRC TestNG exercises. Now when you right click in here, you should be able to see this TestNG option just above properties, where it is asking you to either create a TestNG class or maybe convert something to a TestNG. So I'm going to say I want to create a testng class. It will ask me a test name. I will say demo test. And then it asks me what all annotations I want it to be introduced. So let us say I want all these annotation to be introduced so that we can show you or we can see the order in which they execute. And I provide the testng file name with the extension XML. This is important that you add the extension .xml when you are giving the file name. You click on finish. Your test will be created. Okay. Your annotations will be here and your testng file will also be available here. Click on source to see your actual file. So perform these steps and go ahead and create a new testng class with the testng XML file. So once you guys are done till here, let me know. Okay, done creating the file. Okay, so now let's go to the actual test. Here, this testing, I'm going to put it in between before method and after method, and let's just add some print statements. So system.out.println, then I'm going to say before method and after method, and similarly I'm just going to simply add the statements for each of the functions. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So now for execution, I'm going to execute the demo test.ng file. Inside this file, if you will see, you have the suit name, you have the test, you have the classes, the class node which talks about the folder followed by a dot, followed by the name of the class, the test node closing, the suit node closing. Now when I click on the play icon, what I will receive is the output here. So you can see the order of execution: before suit, before test, before class, before method. Then the test got executed. After method, after class, after test, after suit. Does this make sense? And you also get this information: total test run 1, failure 0, skip 0. Okay. Please run this, and after you have executed, click on a refresh icon at the project level. You will see a folder test-output. When you both are on this place where I am, let me know. Or if you guys are struggling with anything, let me know also. Are you guys here where I am? Yes, we execute the XML file. So after you are done executing the XML file, if you refresh your folder, you say refresh, you will have this test dash output directory created. Inside it, if you expand it, you will have all these information available. In here, if you click on index.html, it tells you about information of suit execution. So it's a report. Similarly, if I expand this, here then the other type of report is an emailable report. Same information presented in different manner. And if you expand this suit folder, you will have this test.html, again information presented in the different manner. I like this report the best. Okay, so it helps. Are you all able to see this and complete the end-to-end process where you created a file, you created a suit test.ng XML, you executed the suit, and then you got the result or the report. Okay, fine, Annaman. So what we have done created is a simple test.ng file, and I have tried to make you understand the structure. Now let us have a look at the program again, shall we? So you have to import in your project test.ng annotation. So now you understand test before class, after class. So what we have created when I created this program was that I right click and I said I want to create a test.ng test. Okay, a test.ng file. So these annotations got imported based upon the checks I did on those checkboxes. These are the rest of the import packages. So we have Android driver, Android mobile capability, mobile platform capability type, desired capabilities and other things. Then inside this we create an instance of Android driver. Then in the before class we have our setup. In the test annotation we have the actual test, and here in the after annotation we have this. Are you all able to understand? So to all of you the structure is clear, right? Okay. So will you try? So I will share this file with you guys today. Okay, so that you can run it on your system. But like I said, you will have to change the device ID and might the locators as well. So with this, we will take a short break now. And after the break, we will resume. So we will take a short break of 5-10 minutes and then we will resume the session. Okay? Okay. you guys want to understand how do we fetch the calculate and how do we get the app activity and app package name? Let's discuss this in case you guys are getting error. So let me tell you how do we do it. Allow me to connect my device to my system and then I will discuss that particular topic. Okay, so we need to talk about so here is the link which basically talks about it. So to find out the app package and app activity name, there are different ways. So we are going to use the name of the, we are going to use the command prompt version. So here from step 3, I'll do the steps. So the first thing is we type ADB devices after attaching our device to the system. Then we type in the command ADB shell. So we enter the shell environment of ADB. Okay. Once you are in the shell and we want to find out for which app, we want to find out the app for activity name and a package name. So we are going to open the app before we proceed to the next step. So I have opened the app on my mobile device and I am going to run a command. Okay, let me do it again. So I am going to type in this command. Sorry, doing it again. So when you say mcurrent focus, this will basically fetch this package name and the app activity name. So this is the name of the package and this is the name of your activity followed by this. Okay. This is how you do it. So there are 3 steps. Attach your device to your system, run ADB devices, then run ADB shell, then type in this command. So try it out on your system. Ensure before you run this step, there is a step D. Open the app before executing the next steps. So the app for which you want to fetch the activity name and the package name, you have to run that. So are you guys trying this? Finding out the app activity and app package? Okay. So that's all we are going to discuss today. I would like to keep it to TestNG and this new concept we have learned. So what you guys have to do is before we meet next, you have to ensure that you are able to run that native test uh, for your calculator application using the TestNG environment. So fix all those things, whatever issues are coming. And just in case you guys are getting stuck, this is my Skype ID. Connect to me on Skype and I can take access with a software called as TeamViewer and help you fix things. So we can do that over a week also, so that in the session we can just fix on learning new concepts. Okay. So feel free to add me on my add my Skype ID. Add me on your Skype and we can discuss it there. Okay. So we are going to just fix to this concept discussion for today. Fair enough? Okay. So what we are left with is some more TestNG concepts which we will learn as we discuss more about mobile automation. And in our next session, we are going to see automating a hybrid app and a web app and some advanced mobile interactions and some new TestNG concepts. We are also going to talk about the concept of page object model and picking up information from external sources. So we will do that as well in the coming days. Okay? Okay then. Thank you so much for your time and I'll see you guys next week, same time. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye everyone.